here is the larynx lesson. This is my fiance, Mia, my innocent bystander. And so I'm going to also refer to this. I know it's backwards, but name, shape, location, function. I'll make sure I cover everything. And then have a little model right here. All the little fasteners. So we'll talk about the whole thing first, though. Are you ready?
Okay.
So the larynx is a valve that it lifts up and it keeps food and water out of the lungs. That's pretty much this whole setup here.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh.
And it's also for phonation. Phonation's where you can kind of vibrate and produce a sound for singing, right? And so then there's the skeletal framework of the larynx. So this is the thyroid cartilage. Let me find it right here.
The back? On both sides?
Well, since it's skeletal, it would technically be both. So then, protects the vocal folds, houses it. Shows the Adam's apple. So this is a cool fact. The more prominent the Adam's apple, the lower the range is for that person.
Is this the front, or is this the back?
I'm pretty sure it's the front.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Because the Adam's apple.
Well, no. Actually, I think it'd be this way because these are the actual folds that move when you sing. So we're going to get into those. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So then, that's the thyroid cartilage. Got to talk about what it does. Oh, the bone that's above it is the hyoid bone. It's not visible here, but it would rest with these little stems around there. And the thyroid has its connectors that holds that together. And then this is the cricoid. It would be down here. So this is the framework for the laryngeal. It sits atop the trachea. The windpipe is made of circular cartilages. And then the thyroid and cricoid cartilages join the... sorry if the pronunciation is not perfect. The cricothyroid. Or cricothyroid. There we go. Cricothyroid ligament is like a hose connector. So that's how to think of this part. It's like the connector of a hose. Keeps everything together, right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then the arytenoid cartilages. So that would be these little bad boys right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the folds. Opens up.
Well, that's why
they
it
move
moves
around. Mm-hmm. So when there's like a camera on someone's throat,
that's
what.
Yeah,
you're not a fan of those videos.
Are those things?
Yes.
Oh.
We won't get too much into the singing part right now. Although there's a couple notes about how when you're tense, you shut down, stuff like that. And then the retinoid, they're attached, retinoid cartilages. They sit atop the cricoid plate, so this is the cricoid plate. They're attached to the vocal folds, so there are these triangles here. They have 3 prongs. The vocal process projects forward, so forward. And then the muscle process projects sideways. So this all happens at different points. And then there's the apex that projects upward. I think that's everything. Yep. So then we'll move on, cover a little bit of the epiglottis, but not too much. So I was told I didn't need to go.
That's that, right?
Yep. It's leaf-shaped. Oh, I think I forgot. Did I talk about the shape? I think I've already forgotten some shapes. Well, I talked about how they're triangles. This one's it's like a big old round bone plate. That's really the best description I have. This has its weird shape with the stems up here. So kind of... Oh, what were we going to say?
I was going to say, from the side, it makes me think of a mushroom. Like, this is the top of the mushroom, and that's the stem.
We'll call it that. Why not?
It's a sideways mushroom shape.
Sideways mushroom. He'll get a kick out of that one. Epiglottis, leaf shape, assists with the valving of the larynx, so closing off so that the lungs don't get stuff they're not supposed to have, because that'll kill you. Responsible for speech sounds. It's attached to the thyroid right here, and it's at the base of the tongue, so kind of like, I think like that. Hard to, this model is different. I know I was looking at pictures too. Oh, yep, attached to the thyroid. Yep. Oh, and it pulls back for swallowing, epiglottis. And then the hyoid bone.
I'm just thinking about how it works.
Yeah, it's all weird. I think it would kind of be this way, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Because you said it connects to the tongue.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm supposed to be having you point. So, yep, we got epiglottis so far, arytenoids there.
The mushrooms.
The thyroid cartilage, I should say, and then the
cricoid.
Cricoid cartilage, yep. Oh, and then the hyoid bone's not in this model, but it would go here.
You did say that.
Yeah, I'm going to get into a little more right now, give you more detail on it. This is a U shape here.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's also at the base of the tongue, but it's more at the back. And then, oh yeah, if that breaks, you'll most likely die. That's a fun fact we learned in class. If during a strangulation, they'll check for that breaking, that bone. Because that bone will break, and then, yeah, that's... Oh, and I think that's it for that. So that's the skeletal framework of the larynx. Now I'm going to get into the muscle, which is a little harder to show, so I'll try to point out specific spots because I put some things in my notes, but I wish I had time to color more on this. But this is the worst ones to try to pronounce, by the way. So this is the thyroidenoids. Yeah, thyroid. Did I miss some letters? I don't think I did. No. Yeah, thyroidenoids. They connect to the thyroid, so I think they were inside more. Yep, all through the top of the inside, that's right. So they're in here.
Oh. Like all around?
Yeah. They kind of fan out, I think. Or that might have been a different part. I think those do fan out a little bit. And then they're part of the muscular and vocal processes. There's 2 sets of folds in there. There's whoop, I dropped it. Sorry.
That's okay. There's
the true folds, and then the false fold, which is also known as the ventricular band.
Is this whole thing what people consider like the voice box?
Kind of, yeah. You got to really focus on these parts and know how to not put tension and stress them so you can sing properly.
Okay.
That's why I have to know all these parts too. And I'm teaching it to you to the best of my abilities, and that's helping me learn it more. Oh, and then this is so hard to pronounce. The throtonoids, they pull. I'm blanking. Sorry. Pulls on bottom and shuts in the fold. That's what I wanted to say. So they're responsible for helping with this whole process, moving these around.
So it pulls these together to close?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's one of the parts that helps with the process. Of course, they all work together constantly. And then getting into cartilage is moving with the arytenoid. Okay, now the cricothyroid muscle. So it's in the front of the cricoid, so back here. And it fans out around the thyroid too. And then when it contracts, it pulls the thyroid forward. Yep, pulls it forward. Kind of move parts around. A little hard to move around without almost breaking it. And then when it lengthens, because when someone sings a high note and the folds inside, they close down a little bit, and then they look like they're almost going up and expanding, right? That's because they're tightening.
Like that?
Kind of actually folding in more, and then they stretch up.
Oh.
So it doesn't always, people think that always means tension, but it doesn't. That's just kind of a natural thing that happens too.
Yeah.
But when they're stretching really, really hard, that's not. That's bad. That's bad for everything. It causes all kinds of vocal issues. And then the cricoarytenoid. Oh my goodness, sorry. I've practiced these before too. They're hard to pronounce. It resists forward pull on a retinoid, so they kind of stay in here. Mm-hmm. And then they work to open the folds and pull on the retinoids themselves. So they're part of the inhalation process then. And they're all around folds too, all inside here. Here, you want to point? All inside through here. And then...
all around?
Not all around, I think it's more around the actual retinoid.
Oh.
Little so triangle ditties here.
Just around.
Yes. And then the retinoid muscles connects the retinoid cartilages. So they connect through here. Brings vocal folds back. So responsible for helping bring them back. Oh yeah, sorry, hold it up a little more. And then, oh yeah, bringing them back together, I should say. So, past process we just talked about.
Pulls
More
them
for
apart.
Yes, this one is responsible for bringing them back together. And then, the three muscles involved are transverse retinoids and then a pair of oblique retinoids. So, went through that. Pretty sure. Yep. I got the function, got the location. The shape's a hard one because it's not easy to describe on here, and it's hard to remember the big muscle colored all these different reds and stuff pictures. So, yeah, but just know they're attached to these. And then the supralaryngeal, hope I said that right, muscles. They're for swallowing, chewing, and tongue movements.
Ooh,
so they're kind of they're in the back here. This is a whole system that kind of wraps around and is all connected through the larynx, but the breast's more in the back. And then, yep, external larynx. It's like a tube. It's the vocal tract, basically. And then the next part of the vocal tract, it seems to not favor the front. It's still part of the supralaryngeal, but it's more of pyramid shape, and it's almost like the base, I think. The infralaryngeal, yeah. That's for those muscles, I should say, are for yawning, inhaling, and they're mismapped. I saw this in the notes there. They're mismapped, causing loud breath. So people think, I guess, they need to breathe harder. I'll double check what that means in class.
They're down here?
It's like it's a system that's all through here. Yeah. A bunch of different things are attached. This model doesn't do it justice, but it's a whole big system.
I'm using my super thing.
The infralaryngeal muscles?
To yawn.
Yes. Oh, yep, and they're by the trachea. So, yep, they are kind of more bottom. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. And models visible, showed them moving. Yep. I think that's everything. So, do you feel more educated on the larynx? All right. Let me know if there's something I could have done better, maybe something I misunderstood or something you want added. And have a good one.